Shalom. First and foremost, we'd like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the occupy there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening, learning, and to the Bayashadupadat, the house of David. I'm Ayah Shatad, coming to you through the will and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, as well as you speckled birds whose father's line goes back, you are the true children of Israel that the Bible speaks of. Salvation belongeth unto you and you alone. All right, first and foremost, the 144,000 elect men, and the multitude of the men, women, and children who believe upon the testimony. All right, which is the elect of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Yahweh meaning he is, he to be, he exists. That is the true name of the Heavenly Father. Bahashem in the name. All right, Yahweh Shai, which is the true name of the only begotten Son, which means he is, or Salaki, which means he saves, he delivers, he is salvation. All right, Bahashem in the name, Rachak Kodash, Holy Spirit or Spirit Holy, and it is that which you must have to believe upon the true testimony in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, but without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump right into the lesson. I don't have a title as usual, but once again, the Spirit will provide it through the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So we're going to start here in the book of Psalms, chapter 49, and start at verse 1.
This is the book of Psalms 49 and 1. To the chief musician, a psalm for the sons of Korah. Hear this, all ye people. Give ear, all ye inhabitants of the world.
Right, so Yahweh Hashem Yahushai said, hey, give ear, all right, all you people of the world, and hear you chief musicians, all right? The musicians, hey, being those who play this song skillfully in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, all right? But here, you have to hear what the people have to hear what the prophets are saying. Those musicians are crying and calling out and playing skillfully this instrument, all right? This instrument of salvation, all right? Bringing out these scriptures so that you may have the ability to make it known unto you, because the prophets are making it plain upon tables, all right? Starting from, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakah, Apostle Ramlah, the elders and the bishops, all the way to the newest brother. Every man within their measure and every man within their lot. Adawan Arataza, we be those men. Okay? Giving you sound doctrine so that you may take heed to this wonderful grace in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and the mercy that he is providing unto us. All right? So that you can receive salvation. Verse 2.
Verse 2 reads, both low and high, rich and poor together.
Right, both low and high, rich and poor together. So everybody take heed and listen up. It doesn't matter your status, your stature in the world, okay? If you have a high position, all right, whether it be a high position, a brother in the camp, or whether it be a high position in the world, or a low position in the camp, or a low position in the world, whether you have a lot of money or whether you have a little money, all right, take heed to the words that are being spoken unto you, especially if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, or Seminole Indian, or a speckled bird whose father's line goes back. All right, this message is for you. Message is for the elect of the nation of Israel first and foremost. But once again, this word must be preached throughout the whole world, as it is. All right, that you take heed to it. Okay. Daniel 4 and 7. 17 is lucky.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 4 and verse 17. It says, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones.
Right. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has ordained this by the decree of the watchers. Who are the watchers? The watchmen. All right, the prophets, watching prophecy, calling it out, letting you know, hey, it's about high time to wake. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai said these things are going to happen, that all this must come to pass, and then you shall know the end is near.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So being that it's time for us to watch and pay attention as we have been, but how much more in these times, how much more coming closer to the end, that salvation is knocking at the doorstep, that the MOTB is being rolled out as we speak, that wars and rumors of wars have continued to draw and come near, that the fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is coming more prevalent than ever in the men who call upon the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, those who are faithful and true. Adawan Aratazah. All right? That it be made known unto the rest of the world. Why? Because that's the testimony of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right? We have to stand up as believers in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to speak it unto you, making known that which was unknown, being prophets of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right? To show the meekness, the humbleness, the dread, and the fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and the mercy and the grace in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right? He could have made all this come to pass by himself, but he chose not to. He chose to do it this way. He chose to have witnesses. Okay? He chose to give us and show us the way and what it takes. All right? To dwell with him in his kingdom. In Adawan Aratazah, we passed the test and we are able to be joint heirs. Okay?
Continuing on, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men.
Right. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, decides who he wants to put in power. All right. And right now, who he put in power, he put Esau Edom in power. All right. He put Esau Edom in power because he is the one that was chosen to chastise us. He was the one that was hired for the job. He was created for the job. All right. When Israel went off, he rose up a power. All right. He rose up a power over us. All right. And that power put their foot on our necks because we chose not to serve our power, our living power. We chose to follow the way of the heathen and be like unto the heathen. So Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, showed us what it is to be like these other nations, to have someone ruling over you unrighteously on top of it, doing the most atrocious and abominable things. All right? To our nation especially. Yes, they did it to other nations, but not the mass scale that they have did it unto you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, as well as you speckled birds whose father's line goes back. Not nearly. All right? Not nearly as bad. Because we disrespected our power. All right? Our God. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai said, I am the God of Israel and no other. All right? The scriptures testify of that. So how much more when the power of the universe and his only begotten son, Yahweh the Most High, and his only begotten son, Yahushai, all right, tells us to do something, how much more should we have fear to do it and do it the way he says do it? And if we don't, how much more should we be in fear for the punishment that we shall receive? He created the greatest punishment by putting the lowest nation that he has made, the lowest thing that he has made, Esau Edom, over the highest thing that he has made in glory unto himself. Yasharallah, Israel, the ones that he put his name on. Just to magnify his name and to magnify his grace, his mercy, and his truth. Okay? And his righteousness.
Connor, I had a precept just real quick on how you're saying, Israel is the most destroyed right now out of all the nations.
Mm-hmm.
They've been through the most, and you can't be compared. This is you can't compare another nation's trials or chastisement from the Lord as on the same level as Jacob right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is Lamentations 2:13. It says, "What thing shall I take to witness for thee? What thing shall I liken to thee, O daughter of Jerusalem? What shall I equal to thee, that I may comfort thee, O virgin daughter of Zion, for thy breach is great, like the sea. Who can heal thee?
And the only one that can heal us is the only one who put us in this position.
Yeah, only the physician, only Yahushua can do that healing.
Right. He said the breach is great. Right. That breach. Hey, think of it. A breach is a gap.
Yeah.
All right. A very big space. All right. A very long and big divide. All right. Very wide. All right. As a baby comes out breech when the shoulders are coming through.
Yeah, in a game, in a sports game, it would be considered a blowout.
Yeah.
You know? There's no hope.
Right.
You can't come back from it.
Right.
That's the other nations. That's their. The situations that they go through compared to Israel.
Right. And that, hey, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, hey, Yahweh sent his only begotten son to be the only one that can bring us back.
This is what it say in the GNT, Lamentations 2:13. O Jerusalem, beloved Jerusalem, what can I say? How can I comfort you? No one has suffered like this. Your disaster is boundless as the ocean. There is no possible hope.
I mean,
Yeah.
It said it all. Like, hey, hey, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai continues to remain true and faithful. He said as wide as the sea. All right? Where's the entrance of the sea? It spans all across the world. Nobody knows where the beginning of it is and the end of it is. Right? We know, you could say civilization started here and this is as far here, but where's the entrance if it's all open? All right? You got it.
I was done with it, Daniel.
God.
I did it.
It's okay.
Where did I put it? It's like Proverbs. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, in verse 1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
Right, so Yahweh Bashem Yahushai controls all these things. And he controls the king's heart. That king being a similitude of rulership. All right? Whether it be on the left-hand side, whether it be on the right-hand side, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai controls them both. He decides what goes on. He decides where he wants things to go, how he wants things to play out. All right? And what he has decided is Israel had to learn a lesson. Israel had to be brought down low. He had to be made as the base man, even though he was high. He had to be made poor man, even though he was rich. All right? See, we weren't only rich in wealth. All right? Our vast of our richness was in the knowledge of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's what made us wealthy. True wealth. That spiritual wealth that led on to a physical wealth.
Yeah. Going back to that, Deuteronomy 4:4. How the other nations are saying, what manner of people,
Not you to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
How great these people are, And that was all from, the commandments that we had and followed from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Right.
That's where that excellency came from.
Right. And that wasn't bought with a physical monetary wealth. It wasn't bought with gold and silver. It was bought, by the blood of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai had chosen us. For he first chose us before we chose him.
Yeah. So the Lord is, instructing, the kings, the rulers of the earth to do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just as a man's goings are of the Lord. He puts the spirit on them, sends his angels to put a spirit on them to do and to play out certain actions.
Yep. And it's all for the magnification and the glorification of his name and his prophecies.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Because they will be found faithful and true.
This is First Samuel 2:7. It says, the Lord Yahweh maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up.
Right. So he makes poor and rich. He makes poor financial, and he makes rich financially. All right. He makes poor in spirit, you down, beat down, trodden, not knowing who you are or whose you are, and then giving you deliverance to understand that you belong to him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He brings you low, and he lifts you back up in his season, in his time. All right.
No. Continuing on, it says, He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are Yahweh's, and he hath set the world upon them.
Right. He has set the world upon the pillars. Who are those pillars? All right. First and foremost, starting with Yahushua himself. Right? Is he not the great millstone? Right? Then the multitude of the elect, the 144,000 elect men, King David the 12, and the rest of the men of the governing body. Then essentially the entire nation of Israel. Because he has a nation and a people that he has as an example. The least of them shall be greater than John the Baptist. See, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai continues to show a righteousness, grace, and mercy unto his nation. He continues to give you the example of what to be and how to walk. And that his power is the only power and his way is the only way. All right?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
Actually, I'll read one more. 1 Samuel 2:9 says, He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be in silent darkness, for by his strength shall no man prevail.
Right. So by your own strength, no man shall prevail. Not Esau, Edom. All right. Not 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Not even the elect of the nation of Israel are going to prevail by their own hands. Nobody. It is by the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It is by Yahweh's right hand, Yahushai. May we gain our strength. May we prosper. May we move forward into that which is waiting on us. Righteousness, paradise, glory, servitude in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai.
Yeah, I'm going to read down
Yep.
too. It says, The adversaries of Yahweh shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. Yahweh shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of his anointed.
You're right. The horn of his anointed. First and foremost being Yahushai, all right, which is his only begotten, then King David. All right, then from King David the 12, and then the rest of the 144,000. The multitude, women and children, all right, who believe upon the testimony, and then the rest of the nation coming through the loins of the elect. You see, all is the glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All is going to be made prosperous. All right, that bears the name of Yasharallah unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Never a time, never a moment where any Israelite will bring shame upon Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai's name, but will confess it and profess it before the nations for an eternity. Anything else? All right. Well, with that, Lord willing, this was edifying, uplifting unto the body. We're going to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, and to the Baya Shadabadat, the house of David. To the next time, it's men of valor saying Shalom, Kwam Yasharallah, Wa Abal Babal.